The strike zone of a bass. Do you know what that is? And how is it affected by weather fronts? Whoa! That's a beauty. Good morning, guys and girls. October 8th. That's right, October 8th. And fall is here, isn't it? Yeah, that's right. Beautiful, beautiful fall days. Beautiful mornings, nice afternoons, and a little moisture, We're looking at Ecclesiastes 7:29. By the way, if you're not subscribed to the Catch of the Day channel, subscribe to the Catch of the Day channel right now. You'll love the Catch of the Day channel. It will literally change your life for the better. That's right. You got a scripture every morning, a devotional every day, and a fishing tip for every single day of the year. You're going to be a better person. You're going to be a better fisherman. Hey, can't beat that. Can't beat that. Ecclesiastes 7:29. Ecclesiastes is kind of a cool book because it was written by King Solomon. You know, King Solomon, his father was King David, and King Solomon came about because of adultery that King David had with Bathsheba. So, and yet God used Solomon to write a lot of the Old Testament. It's pretty amazing. Some of the best things that's written in the Old Testament, things that we can use every single day, was written by King Solomon. Kind of amazing. God uses a lot of people that you might not think that God would be used them. Might not think that God would even care for them, but he really does. Ecclesiastes 7:29. It's about time. God made people good. That's right. God made people good, but they found all kinds of ways to be bad. That's right. God made people good, but we somehow find ways to be bad. You know, and a lot of times we say, well, the devil made me do it. Well, a lot of times that's exactly right. The devil made me do it. During this time of the year, a lot of our lakes have what we call glop on them. This glop forms a solid surface in shallow water around docks, laydowns, and stumps. It's kind of green looking stuff, a little bitty kind of a little, like almost like little beads or something. It forms solid green on top of the water. I like to fish a spoon on top of this glop. The spoon leaves a trail, so you can actually see where you have fished. You can actually see the trails that's left by that spoon on top of that glop. If you miss it, a bass misses a spoon often and they leave a hole in the glop. You need to have a worm or a jig handy to throw in that hole, and it's generally a sure fish every single time. Now, I think you're a lot better off using a Texas rig worm than you are a jig. You can fit a jig in there if you want, but it seems like that jig gets glop on it a lot more. That Texas rig with the bullet type slip sinker on it can slide down in there a little bit better. You might spray some fish in on there, spray something on there, make it a little bit slicker, slide it down in there a little bit better. Like that bass strike messes up the top of the glop, we all find ways to mess up God's great creation. Actually, the book says a good creation. I call it a great creation. That's you and me. That's right. God's good creation, us. We sin no matter how hard we try not to, or how holy and how righteous we think that we are. And we're trying to be holy. We're trying to be righteous. We're trying not to sin, but we sin. We sin every single day. We're so fortunate to serve a God. We serve a God who sent Jesus Christ to pay for our mess, to pay for the things that we did wrong, to pay for the sins that we created yesterday, the sins we will create today and tomorrow. God sent Jesus and he paid the price for those sins so we could have eternity with him. What a mighty God we serve. Here's our tip for today, and it's a good one. This is really a nice one. I like this a lot. The strike zone of a bass enlarges as a weather front approaches. Use fast-moving lures in this type situation. The strike zone of a fish, I've explained it before, but the strike zone of a fish is that area around a fish that you've got to get your lure inside of in order to get him to bite. He generally will not travel outside of that strike zone. The strike zones can be real big, like 8 or 10 foot. They can be really small, like just an inch or 2 or 3 or 4 inches. They can be very, very small, so you almost have to just put it right on his nose in order to get him to bite. It can be a foot, 2 foot, 3 foot. It can be really big. He will swim in order to get that bait, the strike zone of the fish. Once a cold front comes in, once a front approaches, springtime, wintertime, doesn't matter. Once that approaches, the strike zone of a fish gets larger. That means the strike zone that was really kind of small, you had to make a really good cast to get your bait right close to the fish's nose and mouth in order to get him to bite. Now your cast don't have to be as big. You can use fast-moving lures, cover a lot of water, because a bass will generally then move to get your bait. Sometime in the springtime, they'll swim 8, 10, 15 feet to get to your bait. You'll see a weight coming after it. About the time they get to it, you set the hook, you miss the fish. You ever had that happen? I have. But the strike zone of the fish is very, very important. Now, once that front comes through, while the front is here, usually the strike zone is the largest. After the front passes, the pressure rises back up. We have these clear bluebird skies, clear days. The strike zone usually gets very small. That's when it becomes very difficult to catch a fish. Those are those after the front conditions that get really, really tough. But before the front, one of the best times to go fishing. The strike zone of the fish is big. We can use fast-moving lures like spinnerbaits and crankbaits, cover lots of water, catch a lot of fish. Guys and girls, go out there and have you a great one today. It's just a wonderful time to be alive. Hunting season's going on right now in most of the states in the South, and bow season. And you can just have a lot of fun out there. You can go out and sit in a tree in the morning for a while, go get in your boat, fish the rest of the day. What a way to live. Guys and girls, go out there and have you a great one today. And remember,